Guys, what's going on? Welcome to JSpeak. This week we cover some questions. First question. I got a question about the 2015 Gibson Les Paul double cut versus the Gibson Gary Clark Jr. guitar, and which was better as far as playability. Definitely the SG. The DCs are cool guitars. I like them. They feel smaller to me than an SG. I feel like with a double cut, I gotta like be all over it. And with the SG, it's smaller in a different way. They are thinner guitars. I like the neck better on the Gary Clark, but now just remember the 2015 had that thicker neck. It was really nice for bending or doing vibrato on the E strings, but that doesn't make it a better guitar overall. The only issue or complaint I'd say with the Gary Clark Jr. is that it has that middle pickup, so it can get in the way. If you're not used to middle pickups, when you pick, they can trip you up a little bit. Other than that, my vote would be the Gary Clark. I think it's a better build. It's a cool guitar. Yeah, there's that. Question 2, kind of an interesting one. The Marshall 2525H, which is the Mini Silver Jubilee, up against the Rockerverb Mark III. Which one sounds better for clean, lead tones, and at bedroom level? At bedroom level, ironically, I'd say the Rockerverb because it has a built-in attenuator. And it doesn't take much for that amp. You could turn it up and get some good gain sounds out of it right away. Whereas I feel like the Marshall needs more volume to sound better. The clean tones and the lead tones are very different. Because of how Marshalls and Oranges are EQ'd from the start, just the way the amps are built, it's a very different sound. So when you throw it in the mix, the Orange can get lost because it's more of a low-mid thing and you're interfering with drums and bass at that point. With Marshall, it's all high-end. When you go to throw it in a mix, you don't really have to do a whole lot in post because it kind of sits there better initially. Now, if you're messing with EQ and you're messing with your guitars, etc., you shouldn't have any problem using a Rockerverb, so don't take that as they're bad by any means because they're not. The Orange has more versatility in the amp itself, because of the ability to channel switch, to change the power output, because you can go from 170, 50, and 30 watt, and then you can also attenuate it. So you can push that amp in a variety of ways, and it has built-in reverb, whereas the 2525H, it has a lead channel and a clean channel, and it has a pulled rhythm clip channel, which I really enjoy. I think both amps are really good. The Marshall is much cheaper than the Orange, but at bedroom level, I'd say the Rockerverb actually wins. I can get a Plexi sound out of the Orange, and I'll link a video right here. I don't know, I think I like the Marshall clean better for some of the stuff I've done in videos. Lead wise, I would go with Orange. If you can afford both, get both. But yeah, the Rockerverb is one of those amps where you could get that and you really don't need another amp after that. So if you want to buy more amps, buy the Marshall and then buy the Rockerverb. Is that good advice? I don't know. And last but not least, can the BE50 do Plexi type tones? Yeah, it can. You gotta mess with the controls a little bit. I don't know if those controls would work well for other settings on the amp, but yeah, you could do it. BE50 covers a lot of ground, man. Like, a lot. So much that you could compare it to, like, a Mark V in a way. I do want to compare those two amps, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And I only say that because the amount of switching you can do on the BE50 is very reminiscent of a Mesa amp specifically, because Mesa puts so many little modes and switches and gadgets in an amp that they have a lot on that amp that you can mess with. There's way more modes on the Mark V though, so don't misunderstand that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.